I recently watched Pam and Tommy, about Pamela Anderson.
What?
And it made me realize that we haven't given breasts center stage in quite the right way just yet on this channel. And there's a lot to be said about breasts. I mean, we all love them. Literally every single one of us who was born associated breasts with life. Most folks, no matter what their gender, their sexual orientation, enjoy boobs on one level or another. I know I certainly do. But too often breasts are groped, squeezed, grabbed without any sense of sensitivity or intentionality. And this is a damn shame because breasts are sacred. They're an important part of the process of arousal for women, and they can be a big missing component in a healthy sexuality. So, in today's video, I'm gonna give you a light glance down the shirt of this subject. And since there's way more to breast massage than I could possibly share here on YouTube, especially showing you one, let me know in the comments if you would like me to do a whole video course on breast massage for both health and pleasure. Let's start with a little anatomy. See, there's the chest, there's the breast, there's the areola, and there's the nipple. And underneath the skin of all of that, there's mostly fatty tissue as well as some mammary glands that do milk production for breastfeeding, whether you've ever been pregnant or breastfed or not. There's also a bunch of veins and arteries too, and lots of nerves. One cool thing about the breasts is that because of their location on the chest, they're near to the heart symbolically, and energetically they're connected to the heart as well. The nipples themselves are connected to women's arousal via her nervous system. It's too much to get into the specifics here, but suffice it to say that breasts and nipples are completely connected, literally connected, to a woman's turn on and arousal, both in her brain and between her thighs. This is not true universally that all women have the same experience to having their breasts and nipples stimulated, but breasts are an important potential part that may have gone unexplored in a lot of women's turn on and arousal. And breasts carry even more symbolic weight than just that. I mean, they are often the first signs of an adult female body during puberty. And unfortunately, many of us, myself included, have had the experience of boys and men sexualizing us for our breasts early on in life. I had breasts far before I had my period, and I remember boys and men much older than me commenting on them and making me feel basically unsafe because of their existence. And if a woman is made to feel unsafe because of her breasts, she might associate them with shame and with danger. For other women, they might associate them with power. They might push them up in push-up bras that actually can hurt and constrain them. Breasts deserve better than what they've historically been given. They can be the source of lots of love and pleasure and openness and tenderness and turn on, or they can be left alone, ignored. They can hold on to a lot of stale energy and negativity, or they can just be manhandled and groped and used for someone else's pleasure. I think in one sense, breasts are actually sort of symbolic of women's sexuality in general. If they're treated with slowness and tenderness, they can blossom and bloom and become the most beautiful orgasmic flower you have ever seen. But if they're ignored or denied sunshine and rain or cut off and put up for decoration, then they shrivel up and eventually appear to die. So let's talk about how to give a breast massage so that they can flourish. Give this massage to a woman who you love, or you can share this video with her and she can give one to herself. Step 1, set up. Talk to your partner about the massage and what your intentions are. Ask her if she's menstruating or where she is in her cycle and how that impacts her breast sensitivity. You might want to go lighter if she is feeling quite tender. You're going to want to set enough time aside that you can both really relax and enjoy yourself. The point of this is to fully let go, to allow relaxation to occur and pleasure and healing. And this is hard to do if you only have, say, 30 minutes and the kids could interrupt at any time. So keep that in mind when you're scheduling this. Begin by cleaning your hands. Smooth down calluses. Consider even lotioning your hands. If your hands are cold, You can warm them up by washing them in warm water or rubbing them together or even sitting on them. In order to complete the massage, you're going to want to position yourself so that you can easily access her breasts with the palm and fingers of both of your hands. So it can actually be easier to place yourself behind her, like sitting behind her, and then you can reach around to the front of her body to complete the massage. But there are multiple ways to do this, so consider what works best for the two of you, your relationship, your comfort level, your wrists, her breasts, and the space that you have to work with. As you begin to take your hands and work around each breast, you are going to potentially want to change your position as you go on. You might want to come from underneath her arm. You may want to come down from over her shoulder. Some of that has to do with your mobility. Some of it has to do with the size of her breasts. If she has very ample breasts, you might need to position in order to get around the entire breast. Whatever you need to do to make the massage happen comfortably is perfect. All right, step 2, the massage itself. Just like the yoni massage and the lingam massage, it can be so nice to start with a full body rub down, but it's certainly not necessary. And if you're limited on time, it's fine. You can just jump right into massaging the breasts. I recommend that you start with her breasts covered in fabric. This could be either from her clothing or a draped towel or a blanket. Approach gently and tenderly, running your hands slowly over each breast and then the area surrounding it. Next, you want to cup it tenderly, almost as if you were using your palm to gently study the weight and shape and topography of her chest. Think about this as a gentle exploration that's meant to feel good for her. So be in communication with her. Talk about moving slower, faster, more and less pressure, etc. Next, you're going to remove the fabric from her chest, revealing one breast. This allows the other to stay warm and feel safe while you work on the first one. Now, if she prefers that you take the whole fabric off, that's fine. Go with whatever her preferences are. Using the tips of your fingers, work in a circle from the outside in, making small circles, slowly but firmly massaging this breast, and then switch to the other. Next, using the tips of your finger and a very feather light touch, you're going to use your fingers gently, feather light again. And the only analogy that I could really come up with this is, think about the claw at an arcade. Like, the claw is not really trying to grab the prize, right? It just barely grazes the prize and then drops it, and then you give it another $2 and try again. Think of your hand like that. You're just very gently touching the breast. You're not really trying to grab it. You also could compare that motion to maybe one of those like scalp tinglers that they used to have at the mall. You're going to gently, gently, gently tease the areola and the nipple as you slowly go up and down against the breast. Repeat on both sides. Next, you're going to cup and lift. You're going to get a little more firm with your hands. The way that I like to think about this is that you're sort of taking the weight of each breast into your hands from different angles. You can begin to give a little bit of a firmer grab this time around because she's been sensitized, she's warmed up. So you can give little squeezes. Think about it a little bit more like kneading as you would with dough. Make sure that you stay in communication with your partner and only go as firm as feels good for both of you. So you're doing cupping and you're doing kneading. Make sure that you are doing that to the whole breast, each breast. And then after that, you're going to spread that energy throughout her chest with sweeping motion. So you're going to move from the center outward, and you're going to think about moving the energy, moving the fluid, moving the sensation out to the rest of her chest. If the recipient is into it, now is the time that you can bring your full attention to her nipple, which is, again, remember, the center of the part that sticks out. You're going to begin by gently squeezing and pinching on the nipple, and you can include the areola to whatever degree feels good for her. You're going to gradually increase your pressure, and you might be surprised by how much she can take. You also might be surprised by how little. It's all good. If it feels good for her, you can take the tip of your finger and begin to flick the end of her nipple rapidly. If this feels really good, she might even have a nipple orgasm. If it's difficult for you to do with a finger, and again, you're both into it, you can transition to doing this with the tip of your tongue. This, depending again on how turned on she is, what time of the month it is, she may be able to have a nipple-gasm with this back and forth sort of motion. Most important part is just, again, to stay in communication, make sure that things are feeling good as you're going. Now to finish the massage, you're gonna cup both breasts gently in both hands, and you're gonna take several deep grounding breaths together. This can actually be like the most tender and sensitive part of the massage. Once it's actually over and we begin to come down, sometimes that's when tears come out, or laughter, or belching. It can be a lot of different ways of releasing. Now that we've completed the massage, step 3, aftercare. Breast massage can be, like I said, very tender, very intimate, very unique experience. So you're gonna wanna make sure that you as the massage giver are available for cuddling, for talking, for going to grab her a glass of water in the time immediately after the massage. Just trust that she knows and is capable of sharing with you what her body needs, and then support her in getting it. She might want to have sex afterwards. She might not. Make sure that if you're really turned on, that you contain that if she's not interested, and certainly don't press her into anything because she's in a very tender space. And that brings me to step 4, which is repeat. Experiment with giving her breast massage using the techniques that I just taught you. Play around with what else feels good for her. Maybe you want to repeat this process at a different time in her cycle. Maybe you want to do one that incorporates some toys and some sensation items. You might want to create a whole bunch of sensual experience in addition to the massage experience. Be generous and supportive. You can offer this as an ongoing treat to give her a breast massage on a regular basis, and you will over time see an expansion in her heart, her arousal, her turn on, and yeah, even her breasts can change in time with this treat, this love, this practice that the two of you can share. All right, that is my video with no demonstration really on how to do a breast massage. This is YouTube. We're quite limited in what I can show you here. If you would like a course with a live demo, write in the comments. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Caitlin V, and I will see you here next week.